3303rd episode of India's most happening Facebook live show का नाम है राज की बात. Men of Honor के साथ really want to thank Parik Brother Jewelers presenting राज की बात Men of Honor in association with Jeswani Design Studio by architect Bhushan Jeswani, one of the best designers in Nagpur city when it comes to commercial, residential, hospitality projects. He's the best man who can help you out and make your space, your place look beautiful and amazing. Also, a big thank you to Hayat Kuto by Nikki Rangunwala, and cannot forget to thank Brain Machine and Home Automation Company. मेरे साथ इस वक्त एक ऐसे व्यक्ति विशेष है जो ओवरसीज एजुकेशन में पिछले 20 से ज़्यादा सालों से काम कर रहे हैं, एंड ही इज़ वन पर्सन टू हुम अ लॉट ऑफ फैमिलीज, अ लॉट ऑफ पेरेंट्स रिलाई, बिकॉज उन्हें पता है कि उनके बच्चे जब आउट ऑफ इंडिया जाएंगे और वो जीबी एजुकेशन के माध्यम से जाएंगे तो वो सुरक्षित रहेंगे, क्योंकि उनकी जिम्मेदारी ले रहे हैं Vishal Jain. Please welcome my guest today, my man of honor, Mr. Vishal Jain. Hi sir, कैसे हैं?
Thank you so much Raj for inviting me for this so auspicious event of yours. I would say a show of yours.
Sir, सबसे पहले तो thank you so much that when I invite you, you come for my show, and I think you come for two reasons. One, you like me, and two, you are my senior. तो आपको ऐसा लगता है ना जूनियर को बुला रहा है तो चलो चलते हैं, है ना? So,
it goes both the ways.
So how is the SFS boy doing?
SFS world has always been the best. I would say, especially, I'm not very sure how exactly the new generation is doing there out there. But the generation where we passed out, I'm sure, as you know, we are very prominent people in Nagpur city. A lot of topmost positions, not only in business, professions, everywhere is taken by GB. And of course, one of the most popular name everyone knows about, like Rajkumar Hirani. Okay.
He's a SFS boy.
SFS boy. The Mege family is SFS. And
I think you and me,
how do we forget ourselves? Yes. And you know what? I'll tell you something very interesting about overseas education industry in Nagpur. There are three very prominent names in overseas education industry, which are for more than 2 decades now. One is me, of course, and the other two are also ex-SFS. So, like SFS is also ruling overseas education industry in Nagpur.
Super. But then it's been 20 years that you've been working very hard in this line of service and line of business. Yeah, overseas education is not just business, but it's also service.
Absolutely.
And I think आपका नाम इसीलिए ज़्यादा चर्चे में रहता है क्योंकि and people prefer you and your educational institution and your agency probably is because of the kind of a service you give, and take the kind of care you take of students. Because as your own family, children.
True.
So how has been, and how did it start, and how has been these 2 decades?
Raj, you have asked me a question कि अब शायद अगला 1 घंटा सिर्फ मैं बोलूंगा and you'll not ask.
नहीं सर, ऐसा मत कीजिएगा.
So yes, to tell you, what brought me in this profession is, of course, there's always a reason why someone choose a profession. And ज़्यादातर लोगों का profession या life शुरू से choose नहीं की जाती है. It comes with stages how you cross in your life. And overseas education also happened to me the same way. I wanted to go abroad, of course, that is the reason I was trying to look out for my options and other things. लेकिन उस समय क्या होता था, I passed my BCom in the year 2000. Year 2000 में internet was a dream and was something which was available only for a very few people. So people of our generation would know it. कि internet और internet cafes उस time क्या होते थे. An ISDN line. Nowadays people are talking about 5 Mbps speed and 5G network and all everything, but we have worked on ISDN line.
Bilkul.
So I used to sit in the cafes for hours and hours together and search for universities to apply for, which country could be a better option and all other things. So all that struggle I've done for myself, so to make it easier for students, I probably decided to enter into this profession of overseas education, to send students abroad for studies.
And these 20 years?
These 20 years have been wonderful, remarkable. They have not only given me something what I've always dreamt about, but also have given me inner peace. Education industry एक ऐसा industry है Raj, which is a very noble profession. And Thankfully, I would say my father is not from this actually education industry, but he is a chemist by profession. He wanted to choose medical science, he could not get through. So he decided to serve the people, the community, through some ways wherein he can be. So he decided to be a chemist. And that is how he has helped people through his contacts and his knowledge with the doctors and all everything. And he has said me one thing in life, which is a lesson and which is something which I would say is very important to shape my future also, even today. He has said me one thing, Vishal, you should choose a profession which will not only earn you money, but will earn you a thank you. That is something which really clicked me. And I said, what can be a better way of doing this, wherein I not only help students to make a good and a successful career, and it's not only about students, Raj, it's also about their families. ज़्यादातर बच्चे जो बाहर जाते हैं, they go by taking education loans and they come from middle class families. No? So it's important for me as a consultant, as a counselor, कि मैं उनको सही रास्ता दिखाऊं, सही country choose करने के लिए suggest करूं, also the right university, because आज का ज़माना ऐसा है कि people have got a lot of sources of information.
Right.
And believe me, most of the time, the sources of information could be correct, but they're not fully correct. They're not giving you all the possible information. And most important, आजकल जो reliance हम लोगों का artificial intelligence पे बढ़ गया है, that is something which is quite a bit dangerous, I would say. You know, because unless until you have a human touch on something, it's something going to be very difficult, especially in choosing these kind of things for you. So yeah, that is how.
नहीं, but जैसे ये geopolitical, चीजें जब होती हैं,
right?
A situation today with Iran, Israel, America,
True.
and the complete UAE.
Absolutely.
इस किस्म की जब situation आती है, तब विशाल जैन के मन में क्या क्या चलता है?
Of course, whenever such kind of things happen, the first industry to be disrupted are travel and education industry.
जी.
Because unless and until the tourism happens, a lot of people involved into the tourism industry, goes disrupted. Especially abhi to summers aa rahe hain.
जी.
Dubai was the hottest destination, and Dubai is badly hit because of it.
Right.
People now probably would have the other eastern countries, like say
Middle East लोग जाएंगे या
Middle East में war चल रहा है, of course.
अच्छा.
They'll go towards the eastern Asian
Sorry, Middle East नहीं, मैं आपसे
Singapore,
जी.
Malaysia, Thailand and all everything. But यहाँ भी अभी summers are very hot. और यूरोप भी आप नहीं जा सक रहे हो अभी. So
क्योंकि बाहर जाना पड़ता है.
going to feel the hit of this particular war. But when it comes to overseas education, we thankfully are still expecting something good out of all these things happening, कि ये सब चीजें अभी खत्म हो जाएगी, because most of our students go in September. August, September. And it's only March right now, so I would insist and suggest कि अभी war का situation देखते हुए, if any of your students or your viewers who are planning to go abroad for their studies and decide not to go, I would say this is not the right time to drop your plans. This is a time to keep your plans intact, in place, see the situation, and then take a decision whether you want to fly or not to fly. Okay, get your loans done, get your finances done, everything done. Wait for your visa applications, get the right time come, and then apply for your visas and all. अगर आपके admissions already हो चुके हैं, you can always defer it to the next intake. So that is the best move. कि admissions अपने करवा के रखें, but उसको आप लास्ट मोमेंट पे नेक्स्ट इंटेक के लिए डेफर कर ले अगर सिचुएशंस इंप्रूव नहीं होते हैं तो.
व्हेन इट कम्स टू मेकिंग अ चॉइस, अगर किसी को मैं I'll tell you subjects and you tell me which country to go. है?
Okay.
मेडिसिन, डॉक्टर बनना है तो.
Okay. The moment you say डॉक्टर बनना है, normally you hear about the countries like say China, some other European countries, Georgia, some other Nepal, Sri Lanka as well, Bangladesh as well. A lot of other Eurasia, Russian countries are there. Russian cities are there wherein students go for their studies. And take my words, when it comes to MBBS courses, these are the only options. And I personally believe that anyone who is going for MBBS courses abroad, they should first be sure about their choices as to where they are going, because social life and your professional and your personal life are all disrupted because of the language problem in all these countries. Language becomes a major barrier. No one would speak to you in English or Hindi or Marathi or any other native language of yours to whichever country you go to. You go to Russia, local people will always speak Russian. You go to other European countries, they'll always speak their own native languages. So unless and until you're well versed with the languages, don't try to go to these kind of countries for your undergrad studies at least, because you're too young to go and learn these languages as well. And MBBS is a very exhaustive course. So काफी पढ़ाई पे भी ध्यान देना होता है, like the language or so it depends.
No, I want to have a rapid fire with you.
Okay, sure, please.
Medicine कहाँ पढ़ने जाएं?
Any English country, I would say, provided you have a budget. And normally you should, ideally you should study medicine only in India, because if you study medicine in India, you are a registered practitioner. You can become registered practitioner in India. You can at least have a safe and sound career here. And and other than that, my preferred choices would be, if you can, if you can take that money and you can have that loan and all everything, English countries would be a good choice, because English countries allow you to work there also after your studies.
MBA
anywhere in the world.
Okay.
Anywhere in the world, frankly speaking, because MBA is not only about specific country. Any businesses would need management graduates at their higher levels, of course. So you decide any country, you just need to be confident about your skills.
कौन से ऐसा एजुकेशनल डोमेन है या करियर डोमेन है जिसकी पढ़ाई के लिए लोग सडनली ओवरसीज एजुकेशन प्रेफर कर रहे हैं?
Engineering is one of the most sought after field. Then after that, physiotherapist goes, a lot of physiotherapists go, dentist goes, so in terms of medical profession, engineering, any engineering field, in terms of biotech, lawyers nowadays, because a lot of corporate jobs have come up, which needs a lot of international skills, communication skills, and a lot of personality things are required. Management, of course, has always been there. Most popular countries could be UK, US, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, depending upon the choice and the budget of a student. So accordingly.
So ये process क्या होता है? How do you पिछले 20 सालों से आप अपने clients में इतना विश्वास कैसे बैठाते आए हैं?
I think Nagpur is a very small city. Now we all are connected to each other.
Right.
That is what I try to maintain. Connections should be there. So in my office also, any student who comes to me at the first place, it's only me who talks to them, because it's important for us to understand the need of the student. हर स्टूडेंट जो बाहर मेरे पास आता है या मेरे ऑफिस में आता है, जरूरी नहीं कि वो बाहर जाएगा, लेकिन जब वो मेरे ऑफिस से बाहर जाएगा, ही नीड टू हैव अ वेरी गुड क्लैरिटी कि मुझे इंडिया में पढ़ना है, बाहर पढ़ना है, इंडिया में क्या करियर बनाना है, बाहर क्या करियर बनाना है, और अगर मैं बाहर जाता हूँ तो क्या एक्सपेक्ट करना है मुझे उस स्टडीज से, एंड वट एवर द आउटकम इज. एंड दिस इज वट आई हैव लर्नड, आई बिलीव, इन लास्ट 20 years of my experience in overseas education, and most important, by heart.
Super.
Because important है कि आप सही तरीके से सही लोगों को गाइड करो. It should not be a scripted thing कि कोई आया है तो आपको बाहर भेजना ही है. I've got hundreds of students out of many I've counseled, जिनको मैंने ये suggestion किया है कि आपको कहीं जाने की जरूरत नहीं. You should make a career back in India itself.
Wow.
Hopefully.
अच्छा, आपकी family, because your wife is also an educationer.
Yes.
है ना?
Yes.
Educator. Yes. So she's also into the field of knowledge providing.
Absolutely.
वो आपके इस hardship को, इस काम को, इस dedication को किस तरह से देखते हैं?
She equally values it. Of course, coming from a teaching background, she has taught students from nursery to KG1, KG2 first to 10th. Even undergrad and postgrad students at Nagpur University she has taught. And
Right.
she has been the teacher of nursery to principal to even directors and all everything. So she has seen the entire journey of how an educator
From this
is.
side of the table to
Right.
that side of the table.
She nurtures a student for more than 16 years in their schools and colleges where she's working. But we nurture the student for 1 year. She understands the value of the way how we guide our students and how I do that, because some values have come even from her, I would say. Her dedication is very important, which has brought the dedication me as well. She is very particular about her suggestions and her opinions about her students कि ये मेरा बच्चा है. Same thing I think I have copied from her.
Okay.
I've also started saying ये मेरे बच्चे हैं. So that is how the thing is. So she has been excellent support throughout my journey. And आज मैं जितनी भी English बोलता हूँ राज, frankly speaking, though we are from SFS, but I would say she being an English teacher, she has always taught me English. She has always improved me, and even today she improves me, and I'm sure about it. आज भी जब मैं घर वापस जाऊँगा after this show and she watches this, and she is definitely going to correct me again. So she is always a teacher. She is always a teacher.
Super,
Wonderful. Yeah.
super. अच्छा सर, आपका बेटा भी बड़ा हो रहा है ना? तो अब वो भी बोलेगा मुझे ओवरसीज एजुकेशन चाहिए. कौन सा देश भेजेंगे आप?
well, the world is open for him. And I think the kind of person he's more emotional and he's more attached to his mother. Of course, going overseas for studies is on cards as of now, but no one knows what's the future is going to be. क्योंकि वो होता है ना कि दिए तले अंधेरा. I won't say अंधेरा actually. मुझे कुछ और याद नहीं आ रहा.
ये सच है.
कुछ और याद
ये सच है कि कई बार इतने सारे एग्जाम्पल्स हैं कि पिता ने एक लाइन पकड़ी और बेटे ने कुछ और ही एक सोचा.
Absolutely.
और उसने खुद की एक नई राह बनाई.
Absolutely. And he is that kind of a student. He is not very great in academics, I would say, but he is a superb artist. He is a born talented craftsman. I believe, we are shooting in an architecture studio
office,
today,
architect's
office today, and he probably would be an architect one day.
Oh wow, superb. Sir, what's in the bucket list? Personal, professional, social.
The bucket list is something which I believe never gets over, and it never gets filled also with all your dreams, because एक dream पूरा होता है, दूसरा आता है, दूसरा पूरा होता है, तीसरा आता है.
अभी latest में क्या है?
Latest में it's nothing as such. I'm not a person who would really dream about a lot of things, but when it comes to achievements,
personal level पे क्या चाहते हैं, क्या हो जाए?
The agenda right now is only a son. Frankly speaking, that he should become a good human being considering with all the situations around. So we are definitely trying to I won't say कि पूरा उसके अंदर, but wherever he needs our guidance and support, we are totally for him.
Right.
And
GP education को आगे ले जाना है.
GP education को आगे ले जाना, तो frankly speaking, I don't think he is going to do that. His passion is something else.
No, नहीं, आपकी बात कर रहा हूँ मैं.
Of course, yes. GP education has been 20 years now. So next month, say April 22nd, I'm going to complete 20 years exactly to start my office.
Wow.
And I believe I continue guiding the students of Nagpur the same way. And with the emerging into technology and all the things, the students from all over the world has also started approaching us.
Sir, because of people like you, parents get the courage to or somewhere they are a little relaxed to a fact that there is someone who's also taking care of their child,
right,
the way they want to take care of their child. And I think with this confidence, they take this call or take this decision that they want to send the child to another nation and make him grow. I think you're doing some great work. I really want to congratulate you. Past 20 years, sir, आपने जो काम किया है उसको मैं salute करता हूँ. और I really say this, that you continue doing it, and you continue delivering with the best of services you've been helping the child with as on behalf of GB education. And उम्मीद करता हूँ सर कि आने वाले वक्त में जैसे आप भारत के बाहर लोग भेजते हैं, भारत के बाहर के लोग आपसे कांटेक्ट करें कि हमारा इंडिया में कौन सी यूनिवर्सिटी हमको करना चाहिए, वो भी लोग पूछना शुरू करें. आप इस शो पर आए, आपने अपना वक्त दिया, आपने हमेशा मैंने जब भी आपसे कहा कि मैं इंटरव्यू करना चाहता हूँ, आपने हाँ कहा. आपने भी, नीमा मैम ने भी, आप दोनों को मैं धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूँ. यू आर वन ऑफ द नाइसेस्ट पीपल आई हैव मेट ऑन द प्लैनेट. थैंक यू फॉर being an inspiration, and thank you for being the men of honor, because you are truly one. आप इस शो पर आए, थैंक यू सो मच. सुपर. विशाल जैन सर से बात हुई, मुलाकात हुई इन दिस एक्सक्लूसिव एपिसोड. और आज की बात, उम्मीद करता हूँ ये एपिसोड आपको पसंद आया होगा. उम्मीद करता हूँ कि आप ये एपिसोड शेयर करेंगे. अगर आपके बच्चे देश के बाहर जाना चाहते हैं, पढ़ना चाहते हैं, जीवन में कुछ करना चाहते हैं, और वो ओवरसीज एजुकेशन के माध्यम से जाना चाहते हैं, GB एजुकेशन इज डेफिनेटली अ ब्रांड आई वुड एंडोर्स, एंड आई थिंक अ लॉट ऑफ फैमिलीज आउट देयर विल से दैट इट्स वन ऑफ द बेस्ट एजेंसीज. प्लीज गेट इन टच विद देम. आपसे फिर होगी मुलाकात इन राज की बात. तब तक जिंदा रहें. जय हिंद.